Okay, guys, welcome to the Lobo Den podcast. On this episode, we have Eric Pennell, Greg Bartusiak, and at the end, we get a surprise appearance from Ramiro Lynch. So, this episode, we do plan out on doing a hate crime on each other and see if we can get away with it, like Jussie Smollet. Talk about Greg's Polish dad and how he possibly feels about Jews and Mexicans. Also, if you're ever with a girl who does coke, make sure never be the guy that runs out of coke. She's gonna go to the other guy. Go a little bit into some Milwaukee comedy back in the old days when JD used to own the Comedy Cafe. So you would get paid with he was a biker, so you get paid with a gun on table. A few comics we talk about, funny guys like Jess LaFleur, Chris Barnes, Milwaukee guys, and Pablo Francisco Nada. We talked about Chinaman. That's how Pablo came up, but he used to have some coke problems, and Eric's wife has his hat for some reason. Find out why she has Pablo Francisco, the comedian's hat. Greg talks about some Polish self-doubt and comedy. Eric was a little bit on the edge. He almost kind of didn't want to do the podcast. He was actually on the way here listening to some Rock the Bell from LL Cool J, but he glad he did. Glad he showed up and did it. We had a good little podcast. So about 30 minutes in, we talk about, so my dad just got arrested. My dad got deported a few years ago in Mexico, like 8 years ago by Obama. Anyways, we talk about how my dad just got arrested. They asked me for money, what was going on. I'll put the link if you want to see what happened with my dad. But we talk about my dad sending him money to Mexico, Eric, his mom being a pill pocker, sending her money, and Ramiro's dad a little bit. He had a little bit of a drinking problem, like most Latino parents. He is Argentinian. The Japanese and Latin America, they very highly of themselves. And then we try to find out what Puerto Ricans and Dominicans think about Mexicans. So check out the Lobo Den. He'll give a few plugs. Eric Pennell at Eric Pennell Comedy and at Busting Balls Podcast on Instagram. Eric Pennell 6. So that's ERICPENNELL 6. That's for Twitter. The number 6. Greg, just Greg Bartusiak, Bartusiak. He's a Polak. On Facebook, Instagram, the Bartusiak. Bartle, Bartle, the THE, the Bartusiak for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. What the fuck is this? Oh, open mic Facebook. Killin It at the Kedzie. That's on Facebook. That's every Tuesday, I think 9 o'clock. Greg Bartusiak hosts the Killin It at the Kedzie. That's where the Kedzie Inn. That's where we recorded the podcast. And he has an upcoming show February 20th, Liquid Gold at the Kedzie Inn. And also March 7th, Sons of Comedy at So-Called Writers Club. I believe it's a biker bar or something. For Ramiro, check him out on Instagram, Rami Comedy, RAMI Comedy, and also Type 5 Monsters. Tight, the number 5, and then MONSTR. You know how to spell fucking monsters. Why did I curse? Next show for Type 5 Monsters is 2/22, 7 p.m. at the Matt Theater, MAAT. Gonna be at, get the tickets at tight5monsters.com. That's tight, TIHT, and then FIVE monsters.com. I think it's at Second City. I don't know. I'll put up other links. I am Lobo9110. LOBO 9110, Lobo Dens, whatever. Follow my stuff. Like this podcast. Subscribe. If you are a fan, you want a decal sticker, DM me. I will send it to you. I am recording in a hotel in Greensboro, Alabama right now. I think tomorrow, just did a show, and I'm going to record a podcast tomorrow with a local comedian. So that should be coming out maybe in a few weeks. Upcoming stuff. Going to record that one tomorrow, possibly. Recording 2 podcasts next week. One of them is going to be with a local female comedian in Chicago, and we're going to do ecstasy. So look out for that one. Lobo Den. Okay, welcome to the Lobo Den podcast. Today I got 2 guests. We got Eric Pennell to my front, and to my right I got Greg Bartusiak.
So what's going on?
Both former. Eric, you've been on my podcast twice.
Well, I'm formerly Eric Pennell. Now I'm Satan. I'm going by the devil now.
Yeah.
Actually, Satan. There's a girl in high school. I just saw her. We used to call her Satan, right? Remember?
Why?
I don't know because
Did she do satanic stuff, or is she just like a
just
bitch?
dressed goth.
She's get dressed goth.
So then we just called her Satan. I think I saw her yesterday, the other day.
That's the most derogatory
Into the
name
mic.
that you could think of.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I seen a dude yesterday, nice guy, but
She's goth. We'll just call her Satan.
no, even now when I see
We're
like
fucking
last
high
night.
school kids. We're fucking monsters.
Yeah, I can see if you're like in high school and you're dressing goth, but when like you're out, like you're like an adult and you still like I seen a dude yesterday at an open mic, nice guy, but he had his fingernails painted black. Like I can't even like talk to him, like because
but he was a communist, dude. Come on.
you
I know who you're
think
talking about.
no, he's not. You don't know who you're talking. I was at Riddles. How do you know you weren't even
Riddles.
there?
I thought we were talking about
Oh,
the
you're
guy
talking
at
about the
Cigars.
other guy last
The
week.
commie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another guy at Cigars and Stripes where he starts talking to like this fucking shit, and Giovanni goes, "This is commie talk. I'm out of here."
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about
I
that
walked
guy.
out. It was too much.
That was commie
I'm trying
talk.
to get ready. Yeah, I was trying to get ready for Mike. I didn't want to hear that.
No,
shit.
this guy last night was a nice guy. It's just when I see like a 25-year-old man with like black painted nails, I just like tap out. I feel like my grandpa. Like
You could probably
I don't know
tap
where
out.
I
He's
this.
a
UFC
I don't know where
fighter.
this
They
guy
could tap
came
you
from.
out.
It's fucking 2020. You got to be accepting of all cultures.
Dude, I'm accepting of it, but
Goth is a culture too.
no, the golf, yeah. No, I'm accepting of it, dude. It's not like I'm like, I'm not listening to a word you're saying and you're no, it's just hard for me as a man to another man, and just like for some reason it just takes wind out of my sail, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. Like I don't know how I can relate to
a lot of people.
I get it.
Dude, it would be like somebody walking up on somebody with a MAGA hat and they go, "Oh, you've already exhausted me." Like to some people, a MAGA hat would already exhaust
Is there
people.
black fingernails?
So a red hat and black fingernails are the same thing to you.
I think that'll balance out, and I can talk to that
I think
guy.
so. Yeah.
Dude, you see Smollett just got fucking indicted, dude, or something,
So
right?
wait, what happened with that?
Jussie
exactly?
Smollett, the fucking
lied
hate crime
about
lying
getting
fucking
hate crime.
little prick.
Well, I know the whole hate crime thing and everything, but what do you mean indicted? What
They
does
got
that
a new
mean?
prosecutor, I heard, or something like that, and now they're fucking coming after him, dude. He's gonna have to get his money up. Seriously.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know what, dude?
Yeah, because he's gonna have.
Look, I get it. It's fucking. I get it. Where like people go, leave him alone. What are you
Who's
doing?
saying leave him alone?
There's people out there that will say
right.
leave him alone. But this dude, you know, any one of us
Fuck
three
Jussie.
at this fucking table, if we faked a hate crime, technically a hate crime, our version of it, we would be fucked. We would be fucked. Am I right, Greg?
Yeah, no.
Seriously.
I mean, I don't
You know,
know.
you know, I could prove it. Let's tonight go out and do a hate
Listen.
crime.
Let's
Let's
fake a
do
hate
a
crime.
fake hate
Listen,
crime
it's not
tonight.
gonna
You know
work.
what I'm saying?
It's not going to work because white people hate white people as it is.
I know.
hate white people.
I know. That's true. That is the myth that people don't
How do you
realize.
feel about Jews and Mexicans?
Look, first of all, I love Mexicans because I'm married to a Mexican.
Don't
and,
talk
skip
to
past the
Polish
Jews.
people about Jews and Mexicans. Don't
Why?
talk to dude.
You don't like them?
No, if my father was on this podcast, it would turn in a completely different
Why? Because
direction.
they eventually move into your neighborhoods and ruin it. Is that why?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
they take
know.
over.
I just know Brighton Park. Brighton Park, which is like Archer in like California. One of those streets is either Archer or Kedzie. It's Archer and Kedzie.
Okay.
There's an honorary street over there. It was Pope John Paul II.
Yeah,
and I remember the
yeah.
first time I ever seen that. I go, why all these Mexicans got Pope John Paul II honorary street
Dude,
over here? Because Pope John Paul is the Polish
That's the
people's
Polish-
pope.
Dude, you go
That's
into
like
a
their guy.
You go into a Polish household, any grandmother's a Polish household.
Yeah.
They're gonna have more pictures of John Paul II than their actual fucking grandchildren.
I didn't
dude.
know that.
I swear
but I know
to,
that's
I
your
swear
guy.
To you.
So it hit me. I go, oh my God, this neighborhood it must have not always been Mexican, which it's largely Mexican. I got family that live in that neighborhood right now, but it just occurred to me like, oh yeah, they used to be Polish and now it's Mexican. You know, it's all good to me, man. I don't give a fuck. You know, dude, I don't hate nobody. You know what I hate? Assholes. That's what I hate. And then, but you know what? When you hate assholes, they get that twisted as racism. It's like, no, it's not racism. I just sometimes don't like assholes.
Yeah.
And I'm not an easy person to get along with
I'm
either.
with you.
You know, I mean,
I mean,
that's part of it. It's not like I'm a
That's
good.
funny. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not an easy. Like I tell my wife all the time, I'm not an easy guy. My neighbor now isn't talking to me. This asshole across the street. Because one day I was driving, he was walking his dog.
The guy who handles the retard.
No, that guy's two
Okay.
doors down, and I'm always watching out for that guy. I had a
So what
retarded
neighbor
guy
is
show
this?
me his dick and tell me he's going to kill me, and he's
Yeah,
two
yeah,
doors
yeah.
down. But no, this guy's a retired cop that's right across the street from my house. You know, I'd always what-up him. and
White dude?
Yeah, white
Okay.
dude, older white dude, cop, retired cop. And I'd always what-up him, and he was kind of friendly. We wouldn't talk a ton, but when we talk, he was real friendly. Well, one day, he was walking his dog, and I was a nice day out, and I rolled down my window, and I go, hey, you fucking creep, what are you doing out here? You know, just like fucking with him, like guy shit, you know, but nice-wise, like nice. Dude, my neighbor next to me told me, he goes, did you call that guy a fucking creep? And I go, yeah, but I was just joking with him, like, friendly and shit. And he goes, man, he didn't like that and blah, blah, blah. I go, fuck this guy. I seen him today. I'm walking my dog. He won't even look at me. He won't even look at me now.
People are sensitive, dude.
People are pussies, dude.
Wow.
But he's like a 60-year-old man, and he's a retired cop. You think cops would have been busting balls and shit like that and fucking, like, he would know how to break balls with people.
So subtle plug to Eric's
Yeah, Busting Balls
podcast,
podcast.
Busting Balls.
iTunes.
Eric's
Yeah.
podcast,
Yeah.
Busting Balls.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to the one with you and Sonny.
You guys think
I just
of...
listened to the one with you and Rick March. Rick March is
Ricky
interesting,
March,
dude.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know Rick March had that story about how his ex-wife got his bitch stolen by some other guy,
by
right?
his coke dealer.
By his coke dealer?
What?
Yeah, Ralph was his coke dealer.
Yeah, coke dealer is still your bitch. Like
Yeah.
seriously, I mean it's easy because they just go fuck you.
What the
coke
fuck?
the coke we're getting, he sells it. He's not bad. I could fuck him, and then he has the coke.
Girls who are into coke will go to the coke.
She's cutting out the middle dick.
That happened. Yep. That happened to me. I was.
That's all she's doing.
I was hanging out with some girl. Things were going well. I was like, man, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I ran out. She was out of coke, and I was out of coke.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, I'm looking for this girl, and then she's with some other dude. And the night, so yeah, at that point, I was like, and I remember I told myself that's never gonna happen to me again. I'm never gonna have less coke than the
Just
other
putting
guy.
out like that's it. You always got to have like coke on you, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
You want some coke?
I seen this dude. No, this
You
guy
want some
needs.
coke,
This
Rick?
guy
I'll
needs
give
to
you some.
cool
Go to the
out,
bathroom
dude.
and do it.
We went to fucking Bobby Slayton like a week or two ago, right?
Oh
this,
yeah.
This guy's he has like a fucking whiskey in a glass, right? Whiskey on rocks or some shit. I don't know what he's drinking, right? He
Black
fucking
Label
he
Club. Oh, no, I
drops
didn't. You're right,
he
a Black
drops it. And it shatters everywhere during the show. When Bobby Slayton's
Oh,
on.
fuck.
The next day, like a day or two, I talked to him later and stuff like that. And he goes, those glasses must have been cheap. I go, man, you fucking dropped
Dude,
the glass.
I
What do you?
dropped it. I
what
was
he said it
on the
must have been-
table, though. It
Yeah,
was,
it
like,
was
from this distance.
It's probably like 10 inches at most from the table. But
And it's a short
slipped out
glass.
of
too. It's not even this big one. It's a short
those
glass.
are sturdier.
And I was like, it should be sturdier. I don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck happened because it was barely like above here. I'm not gonna raise it this
Yeah.
high to come to my mouth. I'm not.
It is
doing
funny
a cheer,
when-
and then it fucking breaks. It makes me look bad.
It didn't make you look that bad, dude. I don't give a fuck. I've been that guy. It is funny when like you're
Yo,
drinking
I
and a
can't-
fucking glass falls out of your hand or
I
something
can't
like that.
tell you how many times that happens
A
to
beer?
me, like at parties. Oh, dude,
Me too.
Sometimes I used to be in a worse spot as far as like stumbly, clumsy Greg, dude.
Yeah,
Back
yeah.
in the day when I used to drink a lot and
Yeah,
go
me
to
too.
parties, and it's just like I'd literally be standing there talking with someone,
Yeah.
or just cracked open a brand new beer, a glass bottle, drop it right away, and it's just like I don't know what the hell happened. It's
Dude,
my hands just like I got carpal tunnel or something.
About 10 years ago, I was in Milwaukee doing JD's Comedy Cafe with Butch Bradley and somebody else, and we were drinking right near the club after a fucking show, and they had these big fucking beer mugs. And Butch and I just got brand new beers, and I went in. We went to Cheers, like ching, like clean glasses. I went in so hot, I broke my glass in his glass. And cut his, dude, I came in fucking hot. But
So, this is the Comedy Cafe, the old
Comedy Cafe. Yeah,
JD
that was a
was
great
the old
room.
owner, right? Was that
Yeah.
the biker or was the biker?
Yeah, he
after
was an
him?
outlaw biker, man. He was a good guy, dude. You know what? Sometimes I want to like look up JD. I hope he didn't I hope he's still alive. But dude, he was nice to me, man. He was a good dude. He's real quiet. You didn't fuck with him. He sat in the back of the room. He had a bench seat back there where he'd always keep like a hot piece of ass, and he would sit back there. He's a big, heavy set guy. And but dude, nobody fucked with him at that club, dude. I'm not lying. Everybody has these stories. Every time they would pay you,
He had his pistol out, right?
pistol always on the
Oh,
table, dude. In the
shit.
basement, they'd always pay you and shit down there. Nobody fucked with them. All the staff were like young or older. There was mostly young, and there was a couple old dudes that were all like tough guys. Tony Soprano crew like dudes.
So if you weren't funny, then that gun would come into play.
Well, I don't know. I never heard about the gunplay, but they just had this mood of like, don't fuck around at all. Like, don't ever put the jokes in their direction is what the feel was.
Gotcha.
You could be funny, and it was a great room,
God,
dude.
hey, did you hear of Anthony Jeselnik doing this one bit? Basically, he was talking about doing a bit at a penitentiary at San Quentin. You guys want to sign up too? Because you guys didn't get your names on the list.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me
have them
sign
sign
up
up
You
for
first.
real.
fucking dare put
Sorry,
your
we're at-
fucking Indian pen on my fucking number 7 or 10.
Where
Where do you want, Eric?
Called it in, motherfuckers.
I don't
Right there,
care.
10. Would you just throw Eric?
When?
Shit.
Somebody talk. I hear dead air on my podcast.
Yeah,
It's sickening me.
It's
Go
no,
ahead.
sorry, guys.
Khalil.
When did you message me?
Just text you.
Nobody gives a shit.
So,
Anyways,
yeah.
On the
What the
Killin
fuck?
It.
It was a good club, man. It was a good club. You know, Milwaukee, like we were talking about this a couple podcasts ago, or maybe we were just talking off podcast, that Milwaukee at one time didn't have any clubs up until recently. Now there's a club that just opened up. The Barrel,
the Laughing Keg with Caitlin, Greg Bach, and
which is good because at one time Milwaukee had they had a club out in Brookfield. They had a club right down the road, either in Brookfield or outside of Brookfield, and that was a suburb of Milwaukee. And then they had the Potawatomi always, where there's always comedy.
Is
I don't know
is
who
that a bonkers room?
Yeah,
or something like that?
but I don't know who books that. But they always book like bigger names, and I don't know what other person's
we'll bump it
who they book the features and stuff like that. But I mean, Milwaukee, from going from like 4 or 5 rooms to going to like nothing, and it was all independent rooms, is like a real surprise to me, dude. You know, because now, I mean, at least now it's climbing, because there's always been comedy, There's always been funny comics out of Milwaukee. You know, there's. Like Chris Barnes. You ever worked with Chris Barnes?
Yeah. Chris is
Barnes.
the guy, black dude, right?
Yeah.
Works for Southwest.
Yeah.
He's the guy who got me that spot.
Chris works for Southwest?
Chris Barnes, yeah, he only does comedy Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays because during the week he works at Southwest.
Oh,
So if
I
you
didn't know that, man.
Yeah, because I messaged him once for like maybe a show I was producing on Waukegan, and I was like, he's like, man, I work at Southwest, so I only perform these days. So
he's a killer, dude. And also, but there's been, dude, Wisconsin in general has a bunch of killers, dude, that people don't know about. Like, first of all, I don't know how Jeff LaFleur, Jeff the Flower,
who works in the golf. He works in golf with me. He works at a golf course.
Yeah, he's always been a golf dude, right?
Dude, yeah. Like
do you still see Jeff LaFleur doing shows? Like, you still see him popping up?
I'll message him like a few times a year, and
always been funny, Jeff the Flower.
Hilarious. Yeah, is it LaFleur? Yeah.
No, LaFleur. But that was his joke. LaFleur, because he'd always say one of his jokes was it translates to Jeff the Flower or something like
Khalil
that.
Talking about, dude?
I don't know. He's talking about some fucking show. Come on,
promoting
Greg.
a show, Khalil.
This guy's promoting a show while we're doing a podcast. Come on there, Colorado.
Well, I needed to clear up the rules and the regulations of Killin It at the Kedzie. You know.
Oh, there's rules in there.
Yo, it's complicated. People. Okay.
Oh, not about signing up. I don't care about that. I'm talking about other rules. Are there new rules, or just as far as signing up?
The number one rule is you got to throw a little cheese on it.
But dude, first of all, I don't know how
I like how that joke just went over. Like he's just like, okay, all right.
Well, people on the podcast, Greg has this thing now for like 3 months where he just says throw a little cheese on it.
Dude, there's a dude on TikTok throwing cheese on fucking everything.
Dude, everyone's throwing cheese on it, man.
Yeah.
Cheese is the future.
It is. I know.
Yeah.
Have you had vegan cheese?
None of that Lucerne shit. It's got to be Kraft singles, dude.
Yeah. But sometimes that fucking Jules cheese is pretty good though, man.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. Sometimes I buy it.
I usually get that deli cheese, that Polish deli cheese.
Oh yeah. I hear you, dude. But dude, Mike Merrifield out of fucking Wisconsin, dude. That dude's a fucking beast, dude. I don't understand how Mike Merrifield isn't like. Hopefully he gets on. Hopefully he becomes like a big name, because that motherfucker is a beast, dude. He's a beast, dude. He's not. I don't think he's in Wisconsin anymore, though. I think he lives.
He's on the road.
I think he's a North Carolina guy now. I think he's in the Carolinas. Yeah.
He used to live up north. Mike Merrifield.
Yeah.
Does he still have his podcast? Did you ever do it? I'll message him.
I've done his podcast a long time ago with Chinaman. I worked with Chinaman.
Yeah,
you ever heard of Chinaman?
I heard you guys talking about that the one podcast episode.
Dude, Chinaman one time.
He changed his name, right? I think I looked him up.
He's Kid Walk now.
He's not
Kid Walk.
Oh, even better.
I'll tell you what, though, man. I partied with Chinaman all weekend when I worked with him up in Appleton, dude. I had a fucking fun time with that dude. That dude smokes a pound of weed in a fucking weekend. Dude, I pick him up at Midway because the booker, Sarah Samara, goes, can you pick him up and email? And then I drive up like 3.5 hours with a stranger up to fucking Appleton. He's funny right out of the gates, dude. But he tells me, he goes, hey, when we get to town, I need to get some weed, and I got some friends there, so we're going to go over there. So, dude, I'm like, all right, whatever, we'll get some weed. We go to the suburbs. It looks like, it's just like fucking Weeds the show, I guess, man, because we go to the suburbs. It's like cul-de-sacs and shit like that, and we go into this old white couple's house. And they're not old. They're like 63-year-old type white people. Nice house. Dude, they had the most weed I've ever seen in a house ever at that time. I mean, it's probably ever. I mean, bags and bags and jars and jars and jars. And we just start smoking weed in there. They had alpacas out back. I've never seen anybody with fucking alpacas. Like, I don't know who the fuck these people were.
I'm just imagining that scene from Road Trip where the grandfather smokes up a joint with the fucking dog, and the dog's like, hey, get that bitch to make us some food.
Dude, I think Chinaman was Pablo Francisco's roommate at one time.
Feature?
No, it was his roommate. They were roommates at one time.
That's a big cokehead, Pablo.
Dude, I fucking love Pablo. Not anymore, hopefully.
What did he do to you?
No. I'm saying I don't think he's doing coke anymore. I heard him on Joey Diaz's podcast, and he got all clean. Remember, like
I gotta listen to that one. Yeah.
Remember when, like a year or two, when Pablo was there was a video of him like he just lost it on stage.
I didn't see it, but I've heard about it.
Dude, the poor guy just kept repeating himself and repeating himself. It's like his brain got stuck. Dude, I love Pablo Francisco. I got Pablo Francisco's hat in my closet because
You're saying Pablo Francisco is losing it?
No, he's
he
fine
did
now.
lose
He
it.
did lose it. He
He
was on
was doing too much
stage,
drugs.
and his brain was just skipping. He just kept saying he got stuck on like a fucking part of his act, and he couldn't get off it like a record dude.
Fuck.
It sort of looked like that. I mean, his version of it. But my wife was a huge Pablo Francisco fan. Hopefully, he didn't fuck her. I don't think she fucked him. But
I think he did.
I don't know, dude. I don't
pretty
think so.
sure.
No, but she
Christina
loved
Ortega got fucked by Pablo
She
Francisco.
loved Pablo even before I met her. And I remember when I first met her, she showed me. She goes, "You see this hat?" And it's like a Dallas Mavericks hat or something like that. It's in my closet.
She had his hat. You think he didn't fuck her?
Dude, no. He
Okay,
threw it.
explain.
He threw it off stage,
After
and she
Kane.
caught it.
Oh.
She caught it in the crowd, and she has and I think he signed it. I think he signed it on the way out. But dude, Pablo at one time was, and I mean, I'm sure still. But remember when Pablo was a fucking
He was a
beast?
beast.
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
Pablo Francisco was a man.
Dude,
He was one of the guys I
and
loved
Cannon.
watching growing up. Him.
That
Yeah.
ouch album, that was fucking ridiculous.
He looked like a monkey.
Dude, killing it.
Looked like a monkey.
Everybody loved Pablo. Dude, Felipe Esparza's coming to the Improv out here
No shit.
February 22nd. I think I'm going for those tickets.
I'm
$33 tickets.
Is that a
I'm going.
Tuesday?
No, it's the
'Cause the
weekend. I think
15th
they're
is
there.
a
They're there for
Saturday.
like three. They're like there. It's the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, something like that. I think it's the weekend.
I'm Eddie Bob Keane.
Dude, I'm fucking loving Felipe right now, man. Felipe's one of the best, dude.
I'm thinking about. I've seen him twice. I've seen him like
Really?
Yeah. Somebody I used to. So this girl I used to talk to, whatever. She went to. She loves Felipe. That's one of the reasons I got better at comedy
Why?
because she liked Felipe, and I was like, you know what? And it would get to me like the Pablo thing. It'd be
Wow, that gets to you,
It would
huh?
get to me. I was like,
Why didn't
I
you just
gotta-
beat her up?
I was like, I mean, she was half. But all right. Anyways, yeah, it would get to me like, oh, I was like in my head, I was like, I got to be better than Felipe, and that's still there. That's still whenever I see it.
That's what you think,
I have
huh?
a thing against Felipe because of that.
Yeah,
I
it makes
always
you
have
competitive, right?
It makes me competitive. It's like I got to be better than Felipe.
You
but
got that
it's
in
a
you,
tough
Greg?
one.
You got something like that in you, man?
To be more competitive than
Yeah.
another person.
Yeah.
I always no. I have the Polish self-doubt and self-hatred where
got some of that.
where it's why aren't you as good as that guy? That's basically what's been drilled into my head since.
You know what?
It's always like, yeah, you're doing fine, but what about your friend? What about your friend Chris over there? How's he doing with Stan? It's like fuck. Like
Yeah, I got
that's
some of that in me
basically-
too. I'm not competitive with my friends. I don't like competing with my friends. I've had fallen outs with friends
Well, see,
because I don't want to compete with my
check this
friends,
out.
especially if I like them.
I feel like this is what happened with me actually being in the scene. Okay, you start off with like, all right, you start off in the scene, you're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and you're like very excited to get to know all of these good headliners and these good comics. And then so like you're still like you're excited to get in all the info and everything. And then once you start becoming part of the scene, you're like, all right, now I have to be a little bit better than them, or now I have to show these guys that I kind of like
gotta step
respect a
your
little
game.
bit
Yeah.
what I'm capable of, you know? And for the longest time, I was there in that point where I was like, fuck, I can't get myself out of like, dude, you could do better. You could do better. Like sometimes you got to be comfortable with what you have. Obviously, you can't be too comfortable with all the jokes because how many fucking dad jokes and one-liners am I
Sure.
going to have? I got to get out of that game.
But how
too.
long have you been doing comedy from start to now?
About 4 years.
Yeah, and it takes a long time for all of us, dude.
Yeah.
It takes a long time
Yeah.
for all of us to like.
See, but I was at this
Yeah.
point where I wasn't even enjoying it. I was just comparing myself to others and being like, why aren't I getting booked on shows? Why aren't I doing this? But that's also because it was my own fault. I wasn't doing the things that were necessary, you know?
working hard.
Exactly.
Working
Well,
hard, keeping your mind always on it, staying plugged in, fucking repeating your jokes, writing new jokes, writing new
rewriting,
jokes,
performing.
getting in front of
Here's-
different rooms.
Here's another thing. Yeah, that's a very important
It's
stuff. All the
torture
stuff
for
that
a
you
long
said,
time. I'm
all
still
the-
tortured right now.
Yeah, all the stuff that you said is very true, but
Yeah.
you also have to take in what other comics are doing around you.
Absolutely.
Take
Yeah.
in their styles of jokes and their structures, and not necessarily
Well,
put it
the
that
only-
way, but see the
Yeah,
direction that
maybe.
they're going.
So when you're still finding your voice, yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
But But I don't look at it like because I remember where there was times, dude. I've been fucking around so long that and not like I'm bragging. I'm saying it like it's fucking pathetic. But I remember when Dane Cook was around, and all these open mic comics were like, "Oh, Dane Cook." They're looking over at like what Dane Cook's doing, and then every comic sounds like Dane Cook.
Yeah.
I remember when David Tell. I remember when fucking when people were doing Hedberg. People are still doing Hedberg. But David Tell, the Cadence, Dane Cook. I remember there's people doing Dane Cook, and whoever else is like the hot comic at the time. He put his hand up.
I just waved when he said Mitch Hedberg.
It happens.
And that is that. I mean, I get it. People are trying to figure out their thing, and if they have to figure out their thing and go that direction, that's fine. But I would not recommend doing that either. Like when people go, "What are they doing? What are they doing over there?" I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
You're committing yourself too much to that craft. If you want to be a Mitch Hedberg, you're going to fucking like go and be a Mitch Hedberg. Like I'm literally not going to do anything except for one-liners. And I had that for the longest. I had a fucking 10-minute set on one-liners, dude. How the fuck? I don't know how I did that.
There's some people that do that though. What's his name? That he's been around.
Jeselnik?
Yeah, Jeselnik. But also, I'm talking about lower
Boston guy, right? No hair on his head.
Yeah, you're talking like
Bobby
Stephen
Kelly?
Wright.
I'm thinking Stephen Wright.
Yeah,
Stephen Wright. Yeah.
yeah.
What are you talking about?
But it's like not Dale Jones, but there's somebody else that's like a road comic that's been. He's in the mud. He's like BC club guy, but I mean he's had like altitudes that were pretty high for a minute. But anyways, but I see what you're saying, dude. But I think in the long run, like people should just try to be themselves. Like that's why it takes so long.
Yeah.
Is because it's like instead of trying to do somebody else's thing, just fucking figure out the math problem that your math problem. You know?
Here's my math problem: cheesy jokes, stupid puns, and like I don't know what the other piece is. I don't know what the other piece is. It's cheesy jokes and puns plus equals Greg.
Yeah, but then that's the math problem now. But as time goes on, you're going to have a new math problem, and you're going to be looking at it like it's different numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And then whatever you plus this plus that's going to equall something differently.
Well,
but you got to get to those math problems. You got to do basic math to get to like algebra. You got to do algebra to get the all that shit.
After all this shit that went down last year with me, like I literally wanted to throw all of my comedy books out the window.
What'd you do?
What
Beat a rape case? You beat a rape case?
No,
right?
I went through a tough breakup.
Some other like guy.
I went through a tough breakup. Here's a fucking funny thing, because with the breakup, I swear to God, I had in my joke book about 5 pages of nothing but me and my girlfriend this, me and my fiance this, and then the next page after that was, so I just broke up with my fiance.
Yeah.
It was literally just girlfriend jokes, fiance jokes, breakup jokes. So you saw the timeline in my fucking joke book,
Well, that's like a fat guy getting skinny. You didn't lost a bunch of minutes now. You just lost, you lost a bunch of you lost some jokes. It's like me too. I have a lot of like I'm married type shit and stuff or whatever. I would fucking. It's like I get a divorce. I'm fucked.
So would you say that a skinny guy getting fatter has more potential than a fat guy getting skinny?
I don't know, dude. Yeah, maybe.
that's the question right there.
But I mean, I don't think the world. I mean, look, fat guy jokes are great. I think they're really funny, but I don't think the world needs more fat guy jokes for a while.
No.
I mean, there's plenty of them. I mean, when they're good, they're good. It's like anything.
Louis
right?
Anderson's still around, right?
Dude, yeah. Or that fucking John
gay,
John
right?
Panette. Yeah, Louis Anderson's definitely gay, dude.
What?
Yeah,
Never
Louis
heard of
Anderson's
that?
gay. Yeah.
I
You
never
always
heard
go
of
after
that.
younger. Not
I
go
don't- I
after
don't know.
younger.
He dresses in drag for that Zach Galifianakis show Baskets.
Dude, that was a good show, man.
Yeah,
That was a good show.
didn't he win an award in drag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk about another thing, dude? Like what? Like I wasn't gonna cancel on this, but I'm glad like Greg jumped on a mic because I was telling Giovanni like, man, if it's only you and I don't even know if because I was in a shit. I'm in a shit mood. I was over here. I was on the edge of like fucking running my car into traffic while I'm listening to LL Cool J music trying to cheer me
That's
up.
the problem listening to LL Cool J.
No, are you
Man.
kidding me, dude? Rock the bells. It doesn't get any better. They got me out of a little bit of a funk.
You're saying you wanted to cancel this, yet you fucking came on and were like a like a bat out of hell for like 30 minutes straight, dude. I couldn't get a word in. I couldn't get a word in.
I'm sorry, dude.
So why were you in a shitty mood?
So no. But well, dude, it's like I've been doing like open mic comedy for like 16 years, But then you think of somebody like Louis Anderson and other comics that have made it, how they go up to a high altitude, and then although they're making money, they go to a lower altitude, then it goes back up. It's dude, show business. We ain't like technically, I'm not even in show business. Like you ever think about that? Like when you do open mics and stuff, you're kind of doing something totally different. You're not even really doing show business.
No.
Like you're
It's
not.
like
You're really not
pre-show.
Yeah,
business.
it's
that's the training
Yeah.
for show business.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
like I feel like I'm getting a lot of that too with open mics and with well that helps with on air. 'Cause, you know, it's because I do radio. So like radio is a good presentation. That's a good thing to help me out with hosting mics or being presentable on stage. And then open mics help me with radio. It's a fucking weird, like those infinity loops.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I feel like sometimes. You got to balance it out. You got to
It's
figure
frustrating,
out
dude.
your mix.
It's so frustrating, dude. I mean, it's Giovanni. You don't ever think about that, dude. You don't ever think about how like doesn't ever frustrate you.
So
man?
yesterday, so my friend's in town, right? Because his dad's dying. He has lung cancer.
sorry
He's
to
been
hear
dying
that,
for a while.
man.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so he came to visit. So I was like, I'm gonna do a local mic because there's a mic in Kenosha that Jordan Pauly runs every Monday. So I was like, I'll go do the local mic, and then I'll swing over to them and hang out with him and his dying dad. Anyways, you know who? Anyways, all right. So then I'm driving to the mic, and as I'm driving over there, because I didn't write this weekend, and then I was really busy, and then I rewrote one joke, or I'm trying to work on the joke about the handicapped chick. I'll tell you about it in a second.
Which if for people that aren't comics, or if you don't know this, if you're a comic and you don't really think about comedy for a couple days, if like life gets you busy, and then you try to, and you're not writing anything new that's inspiring you, and not getting your fucking
you get
I
fucked.
got a new joke. Because you know, a lot of times if you have like a good joke idea or two, like dude, how many times do comics get off the couch just for one joke idea that they think, oh, this little thing's like get me off the couch? But if you're not thinking about comedy for a few days because life gets busy and you don't really have anything new, you could have a whole week or two of just like it feels like you're in the mud of like shit.
Yeah, or like half a year of that.
Trying to work it out. Yeah, that's right. Or you I'm saying generally for me, I feel like it's about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks at the most. And then eventually after being in shit mud for a week or two, you eventually snap out of it and you got your mind on it, then you get something else you're working on. But you're right. There's people that can go months. I've been a months guy
Like
before.
Friday, I went to Milwaukee. I went to the mic at this place, the High Note. It's a good mic I told you about. They have karaoke afterwards. I went there. It's in Milwaukee. I haven't been there in a while, so I didn't have to do anything that new. It's stuff that
of
people have
course, because
seen
now you're
before.
in a new scene. You
Yeah.
could kind of use jokes that you know work also.
And then they weren't that old, but it was the stuff I was
Sure.
doing the last few weeks. But I just didn't want to do it again at Josephine's or something.
Well, yeah, at all the other city mics in Chicago that you're doing because they've already seen it a million times and it doesn't work anymore. It's like a fucking. It's like
the same scene. It's the same scene in a different location, basically. You
absolutely.
see the same comics. Like if you're at a Logan bar, you go from one bar to the next, and you're like, "Oh, you were just up at that last bar."
So
okay.
they've already seen those moves. They've seen those dance moves already.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it is,
Dude,
where it's
I
like
did
we've
this-
already seen that dance move, motherfucker.
I did this in Navigator because Giovanni and I go to Navigator like
I'm a
often,
rotating
and
host.
that's
I'll be
our
rotating
regular.
all of March. Giovanni hosting every Monday.
Oh, you're hosting? Nice. Well,
I'm
then
pretty sure it's
I can't use my jokes over there. Then I got to come up with a different bit every week. But
it's good and it's bad.
It is because
It makes you right.
I just on Monday I did a showcase with a couple of new jokes, and then afterwards went to the Navigator, and it was like 4 comics and 2 regular people and someone sitting in the back, some group sitting in the back not paying attention. But it was the same fucking people I do these jokes to, and they all know exactly it.
Right.
And I was looking at them, I'm like, what am I doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, this is just for me. I just wanted to tell a couple of stupid jokes.
It's still, even when you don't have shit, it's still good to grab a microphone. And that's when either you just go, fuck it, I'm just either going to go off the head and either go into the room and say shit about the room, or you work on brand new ideas, or you just realize I'm going to die up here, and that's okay. It's okay.
But does the dying help to your living?
It does help. It does help
So it's in your
sometimes. I mean,
fucking-
too much dying and too much open mics and too much like it's almost like cancer
Because
or radiation. It's too much
sometimes
radiation.
you can't get a funny like, what am I doing up here? But sometimes you're just like, yo, what the fuck am I doing up
But
here?
I mean, would you rather not get off the couch and go do that, or and just be like, oh, I think it's a better idea for me to sit at home on the couch?
Depends on the day.
I don't know. I still think like, dude, Giovanni's one of the hardest workers in the scene. This motherfucker doesn't take too many nights off.
I feel you.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
agree.
And
I
I
agree.
think it helps. It helps. And dude, I'd rather get off the couch, man, because I've been the other way too, where I go, fuck it, I don't got anything, I'm not going out tonight. But then that starts to breed where it's like you start to come up with that a lot more, where you go, there's 2 nights I'm not going out, I don't got anything, fuck it.
Yeah.
It happens like that. That's but But dude, you know what I want to talk about, man? Is that real about? I don't know if you talk about this on the podcast, but
My dad getting arrested?
Your dad getting arrested.
So my dad just got arrested. So this is what happened last week. So if Greg, I think the listeners know. I don't know if Greg knows. My dad got deported maybe 8 years ago. He's
I know
in
that.
Mexico.
I heard.
Yeah,
I know
so
that.
he got deported by Obama. Anyways,
I like how he says
people
by
talk
Obama.
all this fucking shit, but
Thanks,
nobody was
Obama.
saying this shit when Obama was around. All of a sudden, anyways, I don't want to get into that. So then my dad gets deported, right? So then my dad hits me up every few months for money. He'll message me and then be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Blah blah. And he's like, "Oh, can you send me some money?" Blah blah blah. It's at this point, it's kind of annoying. So he already,
How much money though? When does he ask you? 'Cause my mom
I
always
usually
asks
send
me
him
for money.
What's up? Dominican, I forgot his name. Ricardo Anguilla. Anyways, he just walked around.
How much money does he ask you
in the
for, like-
$100?
Oh, okay.
Well, this is what I do. So this is how. So my dad will hit me up for money, right? My dad will hit me up. He's like, "Hey, can I borrow $100?" First, I ignore his message.
Yeah,
Right?
I do
So
that same thing
I
with my
ignore.
mom.
All right, same thing with your mom. Okay. So then I wait. Then a few days later, he messages me again. Then I respond to that message. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, and this time it's really honest. I usually say, or sometimes I lie. I'm like, oh, what's up, Ramiro? I gotta stop looking at people. I get distracted. I close my eyes. So then I message him, like, oh, okay. Let me wait till I get my commit. About once a month, I'm in sales. Once a month, I get a commission check, right? So I like wait for the commission check, and then sometimes that's the truth. Sometimes I don't want to give him money, but I usually wait when I get the commission check, and then I'll send him some. So the day, then I tell him, message me this Friday. I don't know when it is. Part of me doesn't know, and part of me doesn't care. So he'll message me then. Then I'll be like, okay, are you getting the commission check? Yeah, I get it. Then he'll ask me for a certain amount of money, $100. So if he asks me for 100, I send him 70. He asks me for 150, I'll give him 130.
Of course.
Always,
Yeah.
I wait for him to
Well,
ask
trust me,
something,
he's
and then
highballing you too.
Yeah, so then I drop something off. So this recent time, he hit me up for money, and then I didn't get my commission check yet. I actually get it this Friday, but I haven't sent him any money. But then this fucking week, all of a sudden, who is it? My grandma calls me. I think my grandma calls me, or my dad. Somebody calls me, some family. Maybe my mom does, and it's like, hey, did you hear your dad? Find out your dad got. Oh, my uncle calls me. He's like, your dad got arrested, right? And I was like, what's going on?
Is that his brother?
Yeah, his brother, right? So he calls me. He's like, oh, your dad got arrested. I'm not sure what's going on. Call your grandma. Maybe something with guns or drugs, or maybe he had a gun on him. Right? So then I call my grandma. It's like, oh, I'm on the way over there. I'm gonna see what's going on. See.
Are you allowed to have a gun, own guns in Mexico?
I don't think so. I don't think you're gonna have maybe 22s, but they're not like unless some things have changed.
You know what?
Just the pistolas that you fire in the
Dude,
air.
no. You know what? I think I remember looking this, like something came up like a couple months ago. I think you could have guns in Mexico, but you could only buy them in like Mexico City and somewhere else. You could only buy them in like 2 places in the whole country.
Maybe it's something like that. It's pretty. Yeah, they don't have a Second Amendment like the U.S.
No shit.
Number one. Anyways, so then I call my grandma, and then I guess this all of a sudden they're like, hey, we need to get X amount of money for your dad today, or else he's gonna be
Get him out of the
locked
pokey?
up for or else he's gonna be locked up for a year. And I'm like,
Damn.
okay, well in my to me he's gonna locked up for a year, dude. I'm not.
Oh, come on. But I get it. Your
I
dad's
don't give a
older.
fuck. What
I
does he
mean,
do for me? This is
he's
the thing.
still your
I'll give my
pops.
rela-
What if you were down there and you were in fucking and you sent up and they go, fuck this guy?
I am useful to my parent, to my mom, look. Honestly, the last few years, me and my dad's relationship, like you bother me every few months for money. You don't even call me to say what's up. You just call me and need money. So at this point,
That sounds like that's
I
exactly
can
like my
give a
mom.
fuck less. Yeah,
My
I
mom
give
does
a
the
fuck.
same thing.
Not to be rude, but the only reason I would say, look, this is what happened. So he hit me up for money, and I'm like, all right, no, I'm not going to send any because I don't get paid
Yeah.
till Friday. So Friday I get paid if, we can still work some out. We can work some out. And then Friday, I get it, in communication with my grandma.
He
my
was selling
stepmom.
weed, right? He was selling weed?
He was selling weed, and then in the article it said he went up to somebody and asked them in the street if he wanted to buy weed, which doesn't make sense. If you look at the picture.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'll put the article up. I don't give a shit. But
The article that you sent me,
Yeah, the
I
one
had
in
I had to
Spanish.
copy and paste it into Google Translator to
Nice.
read it. That's how I read it because it's all in Spanish.
And it was
and
all
all.
wife
like
doesn't know
broken
Spanish?
English.
She does. No, but I didn't show her that.
Okay.
I didn't know.
It was all like broken English too. After you put it into Google Translate.
It translated pretty good. Though.
yeah?
I thought, yeah, it did.
It
pretty good.
happens like that.
She probably already thinks lowly me because of the prostitutes already. So you don't want to add to the fire, dude.
No, you know what she says? Like my wife, basically. I mean. She always like says like, hey, your friends are fucking losers always and stuff like that. And I go, no, they're just fucking comics. I go, comics are just like this. They're not really losers. Like she, but my wife
I got
says
an
that.
803 credit score, boy.
Yeah, he's got it. No, she just doesn't realize. Like my wife doesn't realize. Like comics are just wild and they're a little crazy.
Yeah.
They don't like regular shit.
And their fathers are felons in Mexico.
But dude, and most people have like boring fucking friends, and dude, I don't like boring people like that.
Yeah.
My wife knows that. My wife knows that I'm not attracted to like plain bland people. It doesn't do it for me. I don't know why. I grew up like it. Plus, like people don't like Giovanni's smart. Like he does. This is one thing after listening to his podcast. Like I learn about this guy is that he does dumb shit, but he's really smart. Like if you listen to his podcast, you go, oh, that guy's like a smart guy. He just likes doing wild shit. He's just a wild
Especially
guy.
when it involves women.
That's basically
When it involves women for
pussy's
me.
like his,
that's when I kind of fucking go off the rails.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't mean to cut this short. I really enjoyed talking with you guys, but I'm going to have to get things ready for the Kedzie Inn, so you guys could finish up here. But I'm going.
Why? How many minutes we've been on? How many minutes we've been on right now?
We need more time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys could.
No, Greg, we're going to take over your mic really quick, so you got to delay it, dude.
That's fine.
No, I'm fucking with you, Greg.
What time you starting the mic?
I'm going to give the 10-15 minute warning.
Yeah, we got
the old comics 10-15, which means half an hour.
Okay.
So
I'll finish.
Let's get one of these guys on the mic.
All right, thanks, guys. I enjoyed talking with you.
Let me see if anybody I want to talk to.
No one worth it here.
Ramiro or Diego, but Ricardo won't do it. Ask Ramiro if he wants to jump on. Can you go, Greg? Can you go ask Ramiro if he wants to jump on?
Hey, Ramiro, do you want to jump on here? You want to tag in?
Yeah. So, dude, but you know what, dude? Look. I don't know how you feel about that, but like, dude, just because your dad does that shit doesn't mean anything, dude.
But I'll tell you in a second.
I got you.
We're gonna get Ramiro.
Because my mom, dude, actually had a bad pill problem for a lot of years, like 15 years probably, right? My mom got arrested. She got arrested. She was the woman that was trying to go to multiple places, like multiple pharmacies and get drugs and stuff like that.
Oh, like the Oxycontin Express. You ever see that documentary?
No, but she was doing it in her own town, and she got in trouble for that. Like, I don't even know the true story, but I just know my family, like her sister and stuff, told me like something's up with that, and you can't get the real truth out of it. And so my mom had shit like that. Like my mom was who knows what drugs my mom was really doing and what she's had to do for drugs. I don't even know. So like when I don't know. I hope not, but I don't know. But I know my mom was she was that's why dude. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past her because she was bad. And so when you tell me, like, when you send me a thing about your dad, like, to me, I look at that and I go, that's why I text you when I go, everybody's got shit like this in their family, their story.
Talking to Michael Romero, I just want to test your level. Check.
1, 2.
So this is basically what happened. I don't know if you found out. So last week, my dad got deported like 8 years ago. He's been in Mexico for a while, right? By Obama. Anyways, so I like to point that out because people talk about shit.
That is a good point because
everybody
leave that out.
People always leave that out, but
it's like they were deporting people way before fucking this guy got in
So my dad got deported. He hits me up for money in Mexico. Last week he got arrested, right? So that I talked to my grandma, I took my aunt. We're coordinating to bail him out, and I told him straight up, hey, I get paid. They told me, hey, we need the money today, or might be in jail for a year. I was like, well, I don't get paid till Friday, so you guys figure it out, all right?
That's intense.
And it's intense, but remember, I kind of don't give a shit.
How much money do they need to get together though on something like that?
I think total they got. I forgot if it was like $3,500 or something like that. Yeah. So they collected money, right? They got money. I don't know if it was $1,500, $3,500, somewhere in that range, right?
Oh, okay.
So they collected money, and then Friday I get paid. They hit me up. They're like, oh, we need 600 more, and I'm like,
600.
So now from the 30 they collected, they had 600 left. We need to get this money to get them out, and I was like, all right, I can send 200, right? So then. Which is I could have probably sent 3, but it's like.
But you know what? People that are listening.
Dad? My dad is really old.
He was born in 1963. So what is that? 56?
Dude, your dad's only fucking. I'm so old. Your dad's only 12 years older than me. He's fucking 56. He's 56, 57. Oh my god. No, but what people that are listening, like if you feel sorry for that fucking guy, people don't realize because my mom hits me up for money all the time. It's not the first money ever that they hit you up with. Because like my mom hits me up with money all the time, and I give her money over the years, pretty much most of the time when she'd ask me. And now as the years going on, I say no, thank you, because first of all, my wife. Which I'm not ashamed if my mom ever heard this. Also, well, she ain't gonna hear this, but if my mom ever heard this, my fucking wife flat out told me, stop giving your fucking mom money. It's starting to affect me and piss me off now because she knows. Because what my mom would do, she'll spend. My mom has money, but she'll spend her money like going to Outback Steakhouse fucking 5 nights a week. And then she goes, hey, I need money. And I go, bitch, you've been eating out. You kidding me? My wife and I don't eat out as much as you do. And go fucking here and go here. And then you come into my pockets for fucking your bills. Like her bill money. It's like, what are you talking about? But anyways, so it's not like that's the first time they ever hit you with money. So that's why you say no. It's
People
not like
who hit you up for money are the same cast of characters every time. Usually, every once in a while, there's somebody who's actually like they kind of like they just got put in this position temporarily. Like,
and
fuck, it all kind of hit them at once. It happens every once in a while, and they'll pay you back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of times, people that ask you for money, same cast of characters every time. Same fucking story.
And it's not like they're just asking for money. It's the other bullshit that comes along with it. Like my mom, it's not just money. It's just not money. There's always some fucking drama thing that's coming along with it. So it's always like just like their bullshit that they're just throwing into your fucking boat all the fucking time. And you're trying to throw most of it out or you try to fix their fucking shit. But so, dude, when I hear you say that shit about your dad, I understand what you're talking about.
So they're just about to start the bike. So I'll tell Ramiro. I was gonna send my dad money. I'll wait for this. They're doing a little warning. We're at the Kedzie Inn. The mic's gonna start. That's Greg
10-15 minutes.
Throwing some cheese on it. There's Ricardo Angulo, Dominican. I've asked him to do it, but he's afraid to say something inappropriate. Anyways, and get canceled. Anyway, so my dad was hitting me up for money, and then. You know, now he was hitting me up like a week before, but then he got arrested. So then that Friday, I send the 200, and they collect the other money somehow, and they get him out. Have I heard anything from them since? No, they got their fucking money. I haven't got a message. And
see, that's what it is.
Fuck off. You know,
that's
what I mean?
It is. That's another thing where it's like, what the fuck?
And the only reason I sent so I have 2 half brothers that I didn't know about a few years ago. Right, I have 2 half brothers.
How old are they?
One of them. Let's say one of them is around 16 and the other one's maybe 19.
Damn, I would like to have that. I'd like to have like half kids in like Mexico. Like, you know, because they're there. And then I'm here with my wife. That'd be like, that's not bad.
That's not bad. And that's the only reason. Because first he hit me up. He's like, hey,
they didn't name him Giovanni, did they? They didn't do Giovanni.
One of them they used to call my nickname is Lobo Den.
He's trying to take your fucking nickname.
And he had a Lobito, right? And I remember he sent me a phrase. Yeah. And I remember when I saw that on my friend request. I saw that friend request years ago, and I was like, man, fuck this dude. I'm not adding him. I never accepted his friend request.
And that was your half brother?
Yeah, that was my half brother.
Did you know he's your half brother?
I had an idea, right? Or it was the younger one or something. I didn't know I had 2. I always thought I had 1. And I went to Mexico a few years ago to visit, and I was there with my cousin. And I looked over at my cousin, and I was like, they're both my brothers, right? Because I didn't know, I didn't want to like say it out loud. And I was like, yeah. I wasn't sure. So then, the only reason I sent him the money is because he still has 2 younger kids there that he lives with and whatever. And one of them just had a kid, you know, typical Mexican. He just had the one who was like, he had his kid at 17 or 16. Nice. So he's like 18 or 19 now. He's like a 1 or 2 or 3 year old, whatever. Time flies for me. Mm-hmm. But the only reason, I told my sister, which she likes my dad more than I do. I told my sister.
So she's a girl.
Yeah, she's a girl, and he was younger. Girl. Yeah, when my dad kind of her and my
she
mom
was younger. She didn't see him being an asshole. Like you were older.
It's not even an asshole.
Or him
thing.
Being him.
It's more the last few years. The relationship I have with my dad is you hit me up every few months, a few times a year for money, and that's it. You don't call me, see what I'm doing, nothing. Like I have WhatsApp, I have Facebook. And then it's like, and so it's, you just hit me up for money. So at this point, the last few years, to me, my dad is some dude who hits me up for money every few months, and that's it. So when he got arrested, I was like, hey man, you're a grown ass man. You did this shit to yourself. So time to fucking pay the piper. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I have things to pay for. I want to get not Adobe, the Final Cut. There's stuff I want to fucking buy with my fucking money. I fucking work hard, dude.
Right.
I'm not going to send it to you, but that's why I sent it, because of those kids.
Dude, if this dude's going to be in the dope game, you got to be better with it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. Like, come on, dude. Like, I know people in the dope game, and it's like...
You got to be slicker with it, dude.
No offense to my other cousin, but my other cousin got arrested in Oklahoma. If you're listening, my bad.
All right.
He got busted in Oklahoma with like 140 pounds of weed. And when I read
really?
Something like that. And when I read the article, I saw how they wrap the weed. They just put it in paper bags and put tape. Like, come on, you're not even gonna vacuum seal it. So you get pulled over, and then immediately the cop smells the weed. And when I was more offended.
How do you know it was a vacuum sealed inside the paper? It
wasn't I saw the pictures, dude.
Oh, that's
it was
fucking
like
stupid.
It angered me. You know, it angered me. And no offense if you're listening to me, but come on, dude. I feel like no matter what you're going to be doing, if you're going to do it, try to do it right. You know what I mean?
I hear you. If you're going to do it, then it's like you're fucking. It's a big risk, dude. I mean,
you're illegal. So we have Ramiro
I'm
Lynch on
legal.
the he's illegal. He's an American citizen. You're Argentinian. The most you're like the Japanese of Latin Americans. You guys look down on everybody else.
Is that true? Is that true?
They're at the time. Yeah, I'm trying.
Why
to
is
think.
that? Because you guys had like a good culture and you have like a great
Got a
culture
lot of
and
Europeans, some Nazis in there.
They do teach you like that you're better than other.
Why are you guys highly educated? Is that what it is? Like you guys got your shit together?
Yeah,
is that
but
what
I
it
feel
is?
that isn't that the same as if you're Mexican, you look down on
Dude,
people.
well, you know what's crazy,
Stuff
man?
like that. Yeah.
Dude, when I lived
as
in
far
New
as up here, yeah.
Dude, when I lived
we
in
looked
New
down on
York-
all of Central America for damn sure.
Yeah.
Dude, when I lived in New York, man, it was the first time I was ever around like Dominican and like Puerto Rican dudes, and they looked down on Mexican people.
Oh yeah.
They would look down on me. Yeah, that's the first time I ever seen like some kind of like fucking where I was like, what? You guys are like I never.
They
They were like.
Does your dad like Mexicans?
They don't.
right.
For some reason, they.
He's Dominican. I'm just wondering.
I was talking to a comic the other
Puerto
day.
Ricans don't like
I don't know. Yeah,
What is he?
dude, I went to Dominican Republic to a resort. I'll never go back ever again, dude.
What happened? You drank
Fucking,
alcohol and died?
First of all,
Is this not even you?
I drank all day and I had a panic attack at night out of a dead sleep. I didn't like that, and I wasn't impressed with the beaches. And
When was this? You
it's
went to
a couple
Dominican
years ago. Couple years ago.
Okay. With your
Too
wife?
much of a fucking plane ride. I go, this fucking
you
4.5
go with your
hour
wife?
fucking plane ride. Yeah, I went with my wife.
Okay.
Yeah, I go. I should have went to Mexico, dude. Every time I go to Mexico, I have a good fucking time. Although, you know what? The last Mexican resort I went to, I didn't smell no weed down there. I was like, "Where's the weed at? Where's the weed at?" And I didn't smell no weed down there. But you know what? Everybody had vape pens.
Oh,
That's the new move. That's why you're not smelling weed anymore, because people are just vacationing with vape pens.
Because you have a on off, like you won't smoke for like a year or two, then a few months.
No, that's just a recent thing, dude. Like I was almost not I mean, there's many years where I've been a daily smoker, like many years, and then there's times where I'll like I do it with everything, like alcohol and smoking weed, where I'll put the gas on, and most of the time it's on, and then every once in a while, like where my body's not feeling good or I'm getting, I always hit the brake. And that's how I've never became a drunk, because I should have been an alcoholic like 3 times in my life, because I'll go hard for like a while and then I hit the gas or the brakes. And no, just a couple years ago, dude, you know what, man, I was smoking weed daily like I've done in the past, but then I was noticing I wasn't getting off the couch and I wasn't doing a lot of open mics. I'm also not a young guy, so it's like, what am I doing? So then I was also getting anxiety, so I put it down, and I went like a month without smoking weed. And then I was like, wow, I went a month without smoking weed. Then I was like, oh, let me see if I can go another month. And I went another month. Next thing you know, it turned into 4 months. And then next thing you know, I was like, I'm glad I don't have it. And then it turned into a year. And then last April, I started smoking again. Started smoking again. And then maybe 3 months in, I go, nah, I'm good right now. I don't know. I put it down. And dude, it was good because I just did some fucking contest in Cleveland like a couple months ago that it didn't go well. Trust me. And
comedy.
It did, yeah. It was a comedy
Nice.
contest at Hilarities in Cleveland. It was
a wet t-shirt contest.
Yeah, it was a wet. Yeah. No, dude.
To ask.
No, I'm kidding.
I did a contest like a month before that to get into the finals, and it went great. I did the finals. It didn't go so well, but I remember when I checked into the hotel, it was the first time like doing comedy on the road or being away from home. That it was mainly because I was doing comedy where I was thinking I don't have to worry about getting weed. Like, it was weird how I smiled about it. Where I was like, I was bored in my hotel room, though. I didn't have nothing. You're like bored where you're just like, it's just me watching fucking,
Do you got any vices, Ramiro? You a big drinker?
Vices? No, I'm so clean because my dad was like an alcoholic.
So you went opposite.
So I'm the opposite of my dad.
Well, dude, I've had a lot of alcoholics in my family, too. Most of the guys in my family are always alcoholics. And my mom was a big drug addict, fucking pillhead.
My dad always drank, and it was so annoying.
I
think my dad...
And he's still alive, huh? You see?
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 70, but
is he still drinking?
His health is like so bad.
Has he got a big gut? He's got a lot of drinkers always have that gut, man.
Yeah.
Dude, my grandpa died of liver cirrhosis at 51.
Damn, that's a
51, dude. Yeah, he was a drinker, man. Yeah. But dude, long story short though, I miss weed all the time. Like I miss it. I miss it all the time, dude. Dude, I wish we could have talked about Ramiro and his fucking first time he had fucking
time.
I do Ramiro. Well,
I have
get Ramiro.
good stories. I have
we
a
can
couple
get one.
good
We can
stories.
get one Ramiro too because I did his first podcast. But we'll get it going. Okay,
Yeah.
plug your stuff.
Bustin' Balls podcast on Instagram. Eric Pennell comedy on Instagram.
Plugs Ramiro.
I'm
I'll put it on Facebook too.
Tide 5 Monsters show on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Craig, can you plug something?
At Killin It at the Kedzie on Facebook, also at the Bartusiak on Instagram, and I got a couple of shows coming up. One at the Kedzie and one at the Polish Biker Bar, March 7th. So keep tuned in for all the links that I'm going to send to Giovanni after this.
And then I'll put mine. This is Lobo Den Podcast. Giovanni Diaz, LOBO 9110. If you like the podcast, please subscribe and rate. And if you are a fan and you want a decal, message me. I'll send you a decal. I think that's it. Anything I'll add in post. Lobo Den.
Lobo Den, Lobo